Today I am talking about the King of Stranglers, Imai Cosmo, the youngest character in the entire tournament, a super genius, the third main character of the series, and the almost winner of the entire competition. Cosmo's story starts when he got into a fight with a few thugs. While getting beaten up, he was saved by his future mentor, Kureshi Mitsuyo. Mitsuyo would later find out how talented Cosmo is and would take him as a student. Later, Mitsuyo's friend Nishihonji Akira, who owns Nishihonji's security services, would hire Cosmo to fight in the Kengan matches at the age of 14, making him the youngest Kengan participant ever. In the 5-year gap since his first fight, he would get a 21-match winning streak. When he entered the Annihilation tournament, Imai was yet again the youngest at the age of 19, and one of the shortest, being 171 centimeters tall. He also weighs 68 kgs and was born on 30th of January. We first see him during the Ohma Seki match where he was hanging out with Watatsuki. Later, while relaxing on the boat with again Watatsuki, he defeated one of Hiyami's spot hunters. He was also shown to be friends with Sekabayashi and the chairman Katahara Metsudo. The King of Stranglers' first match in the Annihilation tournament is against the Emperor Adam Dudley. At first, Cosmo thought he won the match by getting top of Adam, putting him in an unfavorable position and then punching him, but Imai's strikes are much too weak to hurt Adam, so Adam sends Cosmo flying with a powerful punch. Cosmo manages to tank it, which has been one of his most amazing abilities throughout the series, tanking people who weigh much more than him, and also his quick recovery. Cosmo takes now one of Adam's blows and the damage is beginning to show, so the super genius uses the zone. The zone is a technique that only he has. It happens during the 0.1 second interval when the opponent is completely focused on their attack. Cosmo will then move into the opponent's blind spot and put them on hold. During the zone, Cosmo completely disappears from his opponent's vision. This was how Cosmo won against Adam. Before his second round match with the Dirty Harry Akoya, his new friend Adam, who has chilled out since the fight, and Nishihonji gave him some encouragement. We then learn that all the damage Adam did to Cosmo hasn't gone away, and Cosmo is using painkillers to suppress it. His second round match is against the executioner Akoya Seishu. The match begins with the King of Stranglers going in punching against Akoya, which as everybody expected does nothing. Hiyama then analyzes Cosmo's patterns and sets up a strategy for Akoya, but Cosmo manages to adapt the puppet, although the damage that he has acquired throughout the match and his previous one is beginning to show as he begins to feel pain despite the painkillers. He then goes in for the zone, although Akoya anticipated this and has trained with his partner to be able to destroy the zone. But before their plan succeeds, Akoya's cheating is caught by Cosmo's manager and his friends. Because Hiyama is no longer helping him, Akoya breaks off his leash and shows how truly cracked and twisted he is as he takes a piece of Cosmo, literally, turning Cosmo into a wreck by torturing him and saying that he'll die slowly and painfully. Cosmo then fades into a memory from his time sparring with his mentor Mitsuyo and gets his passion reignited as he manages to get Akoya off him by aiming for the testicles, Matuba style, then trying to break Akoya's arm, him being much more ruthless than before the match began. Akoya then cracks Cosmo's ribs with a devastating kick, but even that doesn't knock him down. He then says his most famous line: "He isn't a masochist, he really hates getting punched and kicked. What he likes isn't fighting at all, he likes winning." With this adrenaline-fueled transformation, the end of the match begins. After a quick exchange of blows, Cosmo gets Akoya in a python hold by getting into his blind spot and overlapping with the judge. Akoya reacts by jumping back and breaking the wall on Cosmo's back, shattering the ground when jumping down, causing Cosmo to let go. And just as Akoya goes in for the finishing blow, Cosmo uses the zone and gets Akoya in a hold. It becomes a match of who can hold out the longest as the adrenaline stops pumping and Cosmo begins to feel pain yet again, but Cosmo pulls through and takes the victory. Cosmo later thanks his torturer for teaching him what fighting is about, but Akoya doesn't accept and Cosmo says that he'll get stronger. After a whole lot of nothing for Cosmo, he goes up against Longman, who is the second ranked guardian, but actually the strongest out of all of them, not getting hit a single time by stealing Kaneda's Foresight and Akoya's reflexes. Although before Longman can kill Cosmo because he's much tougher than him, he leaves saying so long, which is a bit funny to me for some reason. Cos then gets put out of the tournament for his obvious injuries, as only yesterday he was in a wheelchair. Cosmo's third round match is against Tokita Ohma, the usherer. The reason Cosmo is still in the tournament is because he managed to win a sparring match against Okobu, so it's the cripple vs Koma. And in this match, we see how far Cosmo has come since the start of the tournament, him even saying that he's the strongest he's ever been, and that isn't anywhere near hot air as Cosmo dodges all of Ohma's attacks. and gains complete control over the fight, with Ohma being unable to do anything to stop him. Cosmo has so much control over Ohma that Ohma can't even use any of his Nickel style techniques to the fullest potential, although the Nickel style isn't that easy to break, as Ohma's next technique is autophagy, breaking down his housekeeping proteins and making them help with his vital functions, basically extra energy. But Cosmo still has a handle on the fight, knowing all of Ohma's techniques, until Ohma uses Nico style, water guitar, jellyfish hold, and then grabs that Imai greatness to use Water Dragon's Vein. Cosmo has seconds on the clock until he faints. He gets out of it and breaks Ohma's finger during the process, both of them covered in sweat and barely breathing. The end of the fight is near. In the end, the true MC wins by using the Nico style, water guitar, ultimate technique, mirror of water, strangling the King of Stranglers with his own arm. Cosmo, being the youngest fighter in the entire tournament, has a great run, as multiple of the other youngest fighters are Nezu, Koizan, Ryan, and lots of other fighters who are much older than him and still much weaker than him. Cosmo is one of the most powerful characters in the entire series, and is somewhere on my top 10 list for two reasons. Him being one of the best technique-based fighters in the entire series, since he basically outmatches everybody in techniques. The second reason is potential and adaptation and evolution. Cosmo is one of the 4 characters throughout the series who have been able to show evolution, adaptation in a fight, that being Ohma, Cosmo, Kiryu, and the Fang. These 4 characters have shown the ability to massively improve during a fight. Here's just a quick story about the first time I saw Cosmo. It was in King and Ashura 0, and I thought he was originally the main character, because the first time I saw him, he had 2 chapters for himself, sort of. He had the first one, where he was just showing to be a character and he looked like a main character potential, and then during the last chapter, it was showing that he knew the owner of the King Association, so I thought he was special.